Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This video for Tuesday, May 10th, 2011 is sponsored by Realtic. All right, folks, let's get started here today. The markets are trading neutral to slightly higher with the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 42 points, Nasdaq up 13.5, and the S&P up about 6 points on the day. That's about 3/10 to 4/10 of 1%. So just a minor update today on the back of a minor to decent update yesterday. So Monday, Tuesday, volume has been dead. In fact, today, just a little after 1 p.m., the volume on the SPY, which mirrors the S&P 500, is only 53 million. That is unbelievably light here today, folks. And I want to make sure we understand exactly what's going on in this market, exactly what to expect in the coming days, and what trades are looking good for the coming days. All right, we're going to cover the financials because I think the financials are very interesting, as well as some of the commodity plays out there. Well, first off, the markets are slightly higher today, although they are breaking down just a little bit. I don't think there's enough volume in this market for us to sell off and turn negative. I'm just going to say that right now. Yes, you can see the move up was a beautiful move up here into resistance. In fact, in the intraday stock chat, which we do have a free trial for, I did call out this pivot top as a shorting opportunity. And as you can see, as you went up into that, you did pull back beautifully, and that level of resistance held at 135.60. So a beautiful little resistance level there. The market pulled back nicely, then consolidated, never getting back to that high. This consolidation could have been looked at as an in spirit of bear flag pattern. Notice how it's sharp down and then sideways to up following the 20 moving average. That's in spirit of. Sure enough, we started to break down here, but notice how the breakdown is very weak. It's not like we're flushing very quickly. In fact, as you broke down here, you've already bounced all the way back up. That tells you that there's not enough volume to carry it through to the downside. And this is a common thing we've seen in the markets when we have light trading days. Whenever you have light trading and you have a bearish pattern, it may partially work out or work out for a small amount of time, but usually what will happen is it will reverse and just kind of float neutral, ultimately never giving you a lot of profits on the downside. And that's exactly what we're seeing today. Yes, this morning we had more volume. That's why the pullback off this double top was so good. But right here you can see a bear flag in spirit of breaking down. Not really much profit there. Maybe just a few cents on the downside, 5-10 cents on the SPY. Now, what else is moving here, folks? I mean, what else are we looking at? We have to look at the dollar. The dollar made a pivot low. I called this last week beautifully. I gave out the long area on the UUP, which is the dollar index. I said go long right here. In fact, that's my exact line where I went long on the daily chart of the UUP at $20.92. This thing hit 21.55 yesterday for a dollar ETF. That is a huge move. Look at the size of this up move. We have not had an up move of this size all year long. This is probably the last time we had anything kind of like it, right at the beginning of 2011. Since then, it's just been an ugly, ugly down move. This low puts in a bottom in the dollar. That means pullbacks. You want to know the right levels, but if you know the right levels, you can probably buy the dollar in the short run on pullbacks. We're starting to watch to see if we get an in spirit of bullish pattern formation here to go long on the dollar. Again, it needs to pull back a little bit more, though. I would not be paying up at this level yet until it pulls back more. All right, dollar today is basically flat, and that kind of gives us a good characterization for the market. Markets are quiet, pretty much trading sideways to slightly higher, and the dollar is basically sideways as well today. If the dollar was up significantly, my guess would the markets would be down or neutral, and if the dollar was down significantly, markets would be up much, much more. Let's take a look at the other commodities here. What we want to take a look at is the USO. The USO is getting a solid bounce. So you can see what a flush it had. Unbelievable flush here, and then it had a huge bounce yesterday. It's continuing to kind of hold steady today. Oil's basically on the flat line, and that makes sense. If the dollar's flat, chances are oil's flat. Now, some of the other commodities that are rallying today, we do have a little bit of an upward tick on the GLD. The GLD is trading up about 6 cents, 36 cents on the day. That is not a major move, but also just something that we want to pay attention to here as it continues to bounce off the master decline that we saw late last week. SLV, which is silver. Silver's having a much better move today, and you can see we have a lot of lines on the charts from where I've dissected this with my traders in the chat room and in the Research Center nightly videos. And remember, folks, you can always take a free trial of the Research Center. We've been doing lots of no-hype live broadcasts. They're going to continue. Those are live broadcasts where you ask questions. It's basically like a webinar. It's a teaching forum where we go over the charts, we go over trades, we go over the market, answer questions. That's part of the Research Center, as well as the nightly videos, hot charts and alerts, where we usually give out 1 to 2 trades a night for you to watch for the next day. It's all included there, and again, there's a 7-day free trial for the chat room as well. In any case, notice how the Silver SLV is creeping up here just a little bit. This is going to be your major resistance area right here on the SLV. $38 to $38.15. It's the 50 moving average retrace and also a gap fill right up in this range. So again, I do think the SLV trades up into that level. I do believe that it does hit that probably in the next day or two, if not later today, and we will watch for that very, very closely there. Once it gets to that point, it may go higher. We'll have to watch it. Ultimately, I think if it gets to the 20, that's your shorting opportunity up here. And again, I'll be watching for that on a nightly videos. We'll dissect it and go over it. And should I take the trade, of course, I let all my traders in the intraday stock chat and my research center subscribers know for sure when I take a trade exactly what my entry is, my target, my stop, you name it, it's there for the taking. All right, let's take a look at a couple key stock sectors here. One thing I wanted to cover was the financials today. Financials are getting a small bounce, but to be honest, guys, I got to be honest with you guys about the financials. I think the financials are going to see further downside. Why? Well, yesterday, this is a good chart. Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is known as one of the leaders in the financial arena. Look at the chart for 2011. Straight down. In addition, yes, it's getting a bounce of about $1 today, but the problem is you haven't hit any major support yet. Support on Goldman Sachs, in my view, is not until this level down here. Once you get down in this range, then I think we could finally say, okay, now we have a possible bottom in there. That would be major support. That's where I would look for a multi-day swing trade off of that level. Until it hits that, I'm not going near Goldman Sachs. Take a look at Wells Fargo. Same general thing. This is now confirmed below the 200 moving average. Ugly chart fall off the highs from 2011. Where is this most likely going? Right here. All right. This is your target on Wells Fargo WFC on my Realtic software here, which is fantastic. Any way you take it, this Realtic software is absolutely fantastic. All right, and again, I use it. I would talk it up any day of the week because it's that good. In any case, that's your level to watch. And again, you want to be aware of this. $26.50 is your target on Wells Fargo. Bank of America, same thing. And ultimately, what I don't like about Bank of America here is there's a bear flag here in spirit of. Look at this bear flag, and it's already starting to break down. This is telling me it's going lower. 20 moving average is sloping down. That's negative. And also, you have a gap fill here, right? Well, that's going to be some support, of course, but it's so close to the gap fill area on the bear flag. See, the bear flag is just starting to break down. My one worry is that it's going to cut right through that, maybe get a one-day bounce, but cut through that, go lower, and ultimately come to this pivot, which I think will be the level to buy, and that's at $11.55 to 60 cents. So $11.55 to 60 is your level on Bank of America to go long. If it got through that, then obviously double bottom down here would be your next point, but I think you can probably get a good trade off of this area right here for probably a 3 to 5 day bounce on Bank of America. All right, now let's take a look at Chevron and Exxon. Oil is neutral-ish today. Chevron, what does that mean? Most likely Chevron would be doing. It would mean Chevron is neutral. If we go to the intraday 10-minute chart of Chevron, you can see it's basically flat. In fact, as of this second, as I'm doing this video, it is 100% flat. There is no change on the day on Chevron. It is trading 0-0. In fact, now it's down a penny, 2 pennies, but it's trading right there on the flat line. There is no movement on that stock. ExxonMobil, on the other hand, is same thing. Flat on the day, down 3 cents. No action there at all. So again, you can see when commodities are quiet, especially when oil's quiet, then oil stocks are going to be quiet. When silver's quiet, which it's not today, it's up a little bit, but then silver stocks are quiet. It's the same thing. Everything kind of ticks off the dollar ultimately anyways, and that's what we're following. One of the weaker stocks today, of course, and I've said this so many times in these videos, Apple Computer. NASDAQ is up 14 points right now. Apple Computer down 60 cents. Now, it's interesting because if you go to the daily chart, this is a classic in spirit of bull flag pattern. However, the market has gone like this, and then it's gone like this. Apple has done nothing but go sideways to lower. That bothers me. It bothered me when the market's on the spiders. Let's go to the daily spiders. The spiders chart was going like this, making new 52-week highs, and Apple on the daily chart was going like this. And that does bother me quite a bit, folks. Now it's not so bad because the markets have pulled back and Apple's kind of just gone sideways to lower as well. But it's not good price action on Apple. Yes, is it in spirit of bull flag? Yes, it is. The flag pattern is considered in spirit of bullish. As long as it's above these moving averages, then I can understand that. And who knows, maybe it does get a little bit of a pop in the coming days or weeks. But the price action itself, and if it gets below this 20, this thing will fall very, very quickly. I heard today Google's unveiling its new software for music, basically an iTunes competitor. Competitors are jumping every which way. Apple was the first one to do many, many things. iPhone, for instance, iPad, for instance, iTunes, for instance. But everyone is trying to copy them, and I think ultimately that's going to be a major drawback for Apple. Is Apple innovating? Where's the next new thing that we've never seen from Apple? We need to see it. If Apple's going to continue its dominance, it must always come out with its products before anyone else does. And I haven't really seen anything new after the iPad. And even the iPad, within a month or two, people had competitors, products out there. I mean, with the iPhone, it took a while. But with the iPad, it was right there, folks. Literally within a month or so, you saw competitors' products on the shelves, and that's really going to hurt Apple, in my opinion. So, could it pop up off of this bull flag? Sure. But as soon as it gets below these moving averages, watch out below. This thing's going to collapse. My target right here over the next kind of month or two probably is a move down to the 200 moving average. All right. Now, again, I have a lot of other things to discuss here. We have a lot of key trades that I want to go over, but I'm going to save those for the nightly video in the Research Center. Remember, if you get the Research Center free trial or the Research Center itself, everything is included underneath the Research Center. All the things that are listed at In the Money Stocks, that's all included. Obviously, no hype live broadcasts, hot charts and alerts, pro trader watch list, nightly videos, technical tactics. I mean, I could go on and on. Hidden gems, of course. Those are all included. Daily analysis videos are unbelievable, 30 minutes in length. I do those at night. And again, view in those when you join that Research Center free trial. Last and definitely not least, chat room, guys, free trial for that. You want to get in intraday action. If you want to ask questions, join the chat room. Take the free trial now. Take care. Visit us at inthemoneystocks.com. Thank you.